Hello and welcome to our new channel, Rosa Talks Economics. Today we'll be looking at Freefall Free Markets and a Sinking Global Economy by Nobel Prize winning economist Joseph Stiglitz. It will look at the causes, impacts, and responses to the financial crisis. So, to introduce our channel a bit more, we'll be posting videos of economic books by award winning authors, looking at them chapter by chapter, giving you guys summaries to help save your time. So this is the content of the book I will be looking at now, Freefall, and let's get started with the preface. So modern economics had complete faith in free markets, and it carried the belief that globalization was meant to bring prosperity to all. This was called trickle-down economics, where wealth from the top would end up benefiting those at the bottom. The new economy was based on deregulation and financial engineering. It was meant to bring an end to the business cycle where there would be recessions and major slowdowns of economic growth that would lead to unemployment. This was because it allowed for supposedly better risk management, according to market fundamentalists. Stiglitz is arguing that the crisis is forcing us to rethink our views. The ideas of market fundamentalism began to be implemented into policy since Reagan and Thatcher were in power in the 1980s. Markets were both efficient and self-regulating, according to them. They believed in small government. Some still argue that this was a one-off accident. Uh, Deregulation has become an ideology, and it can sometimes be referred as American-style capitalism. So Stiglitz argues for having a Keynesian approach. This is an economic school of thought based on the teachings of a famous English economist, John Maynard Keynes. Stiglitz still believes that market-based economic are the best for good economies, are the best base for good economies. However, government has to play a role. Uh, Stiglitz wanted a change in our approach to our economic model to be able to cope with modern-day concerns, for example, climate change. Stiglitz was critical of the economic system before 2008, saying it had deep-seated issues. Firms constantly had to be rescued by the government, and the system only helped a minority rather than the average American, according to him. Economic policies around the world were poor, also. This was seen by the contagion and worsening of the East Asian crisis in 1997, leaving economies crippled and also having mountains of debt. So, for responsibilities in Wall Street and the financial system, uh, Stiglitz believes that within the US financial system there were poor incentives and an idea of the survival of the fittest firms with better governance, which was to be proved wrong. So the paradigm in place led to more high risk taking, looking at the short term rather than the long term. Engineering new financial products uh, led to risk being amplified. For example, with credit default swaps and subprime mortgages, collateralized debt instruments also played a major factor. Financial institutions did a lot of bad lending through these. Stiglitz's overarching question is thinking about how this was allowed to happen. How was Wall Street able to become a system that was deeply flawed, where individuals thought they were making the right decisions, however, they were making major wrong ones. Um, the concept of constant sustained growth was based on a load of debt. However, Western government bailouts made these issues seem less significant, giving a false sense of security. Uh, so, broader issues of American-style capitalism, compared with some European economies, that had a more social model. The following is seen: incomes had stagnated in the US. Also, there were more increasing inequality. Also, poor Americans making to the top. Uh, there was a less likelihood of this, and this goes totally against the American dream, where you can become anything out of nothing. Also, there were lower results in standardized tests in education in the country. So also looking at the responses after the outgoing Bush administration in 2009, there was a lot of hope that the Obama administration will bring a lot of correct answers. However, Stiglitz is quite critical of some of the policies Obama brought, and he believes that uh, the Obama administration limited help to homeowners compared to what he believed was right. He also said the financial system was less competitive now, with too uh, many big uh, banks that were too big to fail. Uh, Also, there was a large opportunity cost in money used to save older firms rather than spending on innovating and investing into newer, more dynamic firms. So, Stiglitz believes that we need to uh, learn from our past mistakes and address large problems in our economy, such as having more equality, having foundations for growth rather than it being based on debt. Hope was there, as in we learned from the Great Depression in the 1920s, 1930s. So Stiglitz believes that there was hope that we can learn again today. So I will shortly be making a new video looking at the first chapter, the making of the crisis, and yeah. So thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.